Now we shall discuss on Stokes' law. This is the second class of viscosity, lecture 2, Stokes' law. Okay, now this is a figure. This figure represents an infinitely extended well. Infinitely extended well, that means this is a container, though there is no infinitely extended well. It's a container. This container, inside this container, there is a ball. This ball of radius r is falling through this container, and there is a liquid inside this container, suppose water or castor oil or anything like that. It may be honey or anything like that, through which this ball is falling. So for simplicity, we take the container is filled with water, and through water a steel ball, made of steel, stainless steel, is falling through this liquid column. So this is a liquid column. Suppose the density of stainless steel is rho. Density of stainless steel is rho, and radius of the spherical ball is equal to r. So we can say the weight of the ball, weight, mass times acceleration due to gravity g, weight is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is the volume of the ball multiplied by rho. Rho is the density of the material of the ball. So this term is equal to mass, and that is multiplied with g, that is equal to weight. And weight is one kind of force. This vector represents the force, and this force acts vertically downwards. Weight of a body, due to weight the body falls downwards. So Fg, force due to gravity, is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube rho into g. Now we have already mentioned that this is a liquid like water. So when a body, spherical body or anything like that, falls through water or any medium, it will experience an upthrust. Upthrust is produced due to the presence of this liquid. The volume of water replaced by this ball is equal to the volume of water replaced by the ball is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube, same volume. Sigma is the density of the liquid through which the ball falls. So when the volume is multiplied by sigma, that is the mass of water displaced by the ball. When the mass of water displaced by the ball is multiplied by g, this is equal to force, one kind of force, and we know this is upthrust. And we know the upthrust always acts upwards. So this is the force FB, buoyant force, 40 to 1c, 4 by 3 pi r cube sigma into g. This force acts upwards. This is upthrust. Here we introduce another force, that is equal to force due to viscosity of water or viscosity of the medium through which the body falls. We already discussed that the body or the steel ball falls through water. So when it moves downwards or upwards, this fluid, due to viscosity of this fluid, the body will experience a force, and this force, viscous force, will try to resist the motion of the ball. That means if the ball falls downwards, then force of viscosity will act upwards. And according to Stokes, the force is equal to 6 pi eta RV. Here, all the terms will be explained. 6 pi, 6 into pi, you know what is pi and what is 6. Eta, in first class or previous class, we have discussed about eta. Eta is equal to coefficient of viscosity of the medium through which the ball falls. So 6 pi eta r is equal to radius of the ball and v is equal to velocity of the ball. That means the viscous force or viscous drag, actually force D represents drag force, dragging force. Viscous drag, viscous force is equal to 6 pi eta RV. So there are three types of forces acting on the ball. Number one, the weight of the ball. Number two, buoyant force. Number three, viscous drag. And when the ball falls steadily, that means without any acceleration, with a constant velocity. When the body falls with a constant velocity v, that means there is no acceleration, that means there is no force acting on the body. That means the total upward force is equal to total downward force. So we can say the summation of these two forces, Fb plus Fd, is equal to Fg. Fb plus Fb is equal to Fg. That means 4 by 3 pi r cube. Actually, this notation and this notation are different from each other. Actually, these are collected from two different sources. So here rho is equal to rho, that is rho, 4 by 3 pi r cube rho g. This is the force, downward force. This is upward force plus this is upward force. 4 by 3 pi r cube in place of rho naught. This is sigma, or sigma and rho naught are same. Okay. Now, after calculation, we will get from this equation these two forces, summation of these two forces is equal to this force. Only this sigma has been replaced by rho naught. In different books, there are different notations. These two informations are collected from different sources. That is why there is a discrepancy between rho naught and sigma. If we neglect this, then we will get 6 pi eta RV is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube rho minus rho naught into g, or rho minus sigma into g. You may use it rho minus sigma. In some books, it is mentioned like that, rho minus sigma. But here, rho minus rho naught. So V is equal to 2 by 9 r square rho minus rho naught g by eta, where eta is equal to coefficient of viscosity. Okay, so this is the expression for velocity, steady velocity of fall of this ball through a viscous medium. Okay, now you have to remember this. This is a very important formula, and for numerical problems, this is very useful. We are going to next section of this video. Next. Now, understanding Stokes' law with dimension analysis. In some books, we have already mentioned F is equal to 6 pi eta r into V. 6 pi eta into r into V. You have to prove this dimensionally by using dimensional. We know the coefficient of viscosity eta is equal to m L to the power minus 1 T to the power minus 1. Already this has been discussed in our previous video. The force has the dimension m L T to the power minus 2. So, by dimensional analysis, this will be, it can be shown that force by eta is equal to L square T to the power minus 1. And it is only possible for A and B have a dimension like this. And ultimately, we will get F is equal to 6 pi eta RV. So, you can, for simplicity, you can neglect this section. And if someone wants to derive the actual Stokes law from dimensional analysis, in next video I shall give a clear picture of this. Okay, so just the force of viscosity, that means Fd, we have taken this 6 pi eta Rv, and we will prove this in next video. Okay, so we are skipping this video. Stokes law and terminal velocity. We have already mentioned the body falls with a constant speed or constant velocity. So here also the figure is viscous drag 6 pi eta Rv, gravitational pull is equal to this. Gravitational pull is equal to weight of the body, and viscosity is equal to, here also viscosity is equal to eta is equal to pi 2 g r square rho minus sigma by 9v. Actually we have discussed in previous video, v is equal to 2 by 9 into g into r square by 9 eta in place of eta. Just in place of eta and place of v, these has been interchanged. If we look at the previous expression for v, if we take eta here, then v will be here. So eta is equal to 2 r square rho minus rho naught g into 9 g by 9 into v. This is the formula. So this viscosity. So what is terminal velocity? We are going to discuss this. When a body falls through a liquid or a bubble, look at the first picture. There is a bubble, and the bubble is moving upwards. When bubble moves upwards, the viscous drag will be downwards. We have already said that the force due to Stokes law or viscous drag opposes the motion. So when a bubble is created inside a liquid column, the this air bubble will move upwards and viscous drag will be downwards. But in case of a steel ball or copper ball or any ball like something, when the ball moves downwards, the viscous drag will be upwards. So this is the direction of viscous drag force, and this is the direction of gravitational pull. Sometimes gravitational pull and viscous drag both acts along the same direction, and then the force due to the upthrust is greater. In this case, this force due to upthrust is greater than these two forces, viscous drag and gravitational pull. That is why the body moves upwards. Under all three forces, the body moves with a steady velocity. That means after a certain time, the velocity of the body becomes constant. And when the constant velocity is attained, the two forces or the three forces acting on the body balances each other. And under this condition, the velocity of the body is called terminal velocity. Okay. Now, this is the concept of terminal velocity. And when the body starts falling, initially the velocity increases. And due to increase in velocity, when velocity increases, the viscous drag also increases. And after a certain time, this velocity is adjusted like that. This velocity is adjusted to maintain or to attain a constant velocity. And under this condition, the body moves with a steady velocity. So graphically, this has been discussed in later slide. At first, the velocity increases like this, and after a certain time, velocity of the falling sphere, and after a certain time, the velocity becomes steady. Look at here. This is the velocity axis, and this is time axis. Time axis is with increase of time, the velocity increases, and after a certain time, from this point, the velocity becomes this flattens. This graph flattens, and at this point, the velocity becomes steady. And this portion, the velocity of this portion, is called terminal velocity. Okay. Now we're going to next section. There is a very interesting problem here. and the problem is already solved here. You may write down the problem on your exercise book and inspect what has been done. Small metal sphere of diameter 2 millimeter and density 7.8 into 10 to the power 3 kg per meter cube are found to fall through a glycerine with terminal velocity 0.006 meter per second. Calculate the coefficient of viscosity of glycerine given its density is equal to 1.26 into 10 to the power 3 kg per meter. So in this problem, the diameter is given. So when diameter is given and density of the material, metal sphere, density is given, the weight of the body is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube into 7.8 here. 7.8. This is density of the material into 10 to the power 3 into 9.8. This is the force of gravity. So this is the force of gravity. An upward force, we have to consider the figure. Previously, we have started with a figure, and figure is again. So this is the force. This is the force metal due to the uh, metal of this body. So this is the force of gravity, and this container is filled with glycerin, sigma. Glycerin having density sigma. So due to presence of glycerin, there will be upthrust, and this is the upthrust 4 by 3 pi r cube sigma into g, and 4 by 3 pi r cube rho into g. This is the weight. So all the three forces are derived here. Upthrust 4 by 3 pi into the density of glycerin given here. Density of glycerin is equal to 1.26. Density of glycerin 1.26 10 to the power 3. This is the density of the glycerin. So this is the upthrust. This portion, when falling with constant velocity, this is equal to upthrust, and this is the weight of the body. So F, the viscous drag, F is equal to this, and we know F is equal to 6 pi eta AV or 6 pi eta RV. So after putting all the values, we will get the answer of here coefficient of that is eta. After putting all the values, we will get the value of eta, and if we study this problem, this is the thrust and viscous drag, and this is the weight of the body. All the three forces has been here written completely here, and you will get the result here in next section. Eta is equal to this is equal to 2 by 9 by such and such. So eta is equal to 2.38 into 2.38 Newton meters per second. Okay. So this is the problem example. An example is discussed here, and for your exercise, you may solve this problem. This problem is given here. You may solve this independently, and after solving, you send me answer, and I will check the answer. Okay. So there are two interesting problems here also. Two identical spherical. Look at this problem. This is a very important problem. Number one problem. We are discussing this problem here. This is a very important problem. Two identical spherical drops of water are falling through air with a steady velocity of 20 centimeter per second. If the drops combine to form a single drop, what would be the terminal velocity of the single drop? Okay, this is the problem, and there are four options here. You need not solve this problem instantly. I am discussing this and the answer of this problem explicitly, and then you will try similar problems. You will try to solve similar problems in your exercise book. So there are two spherical drops. Now in next slide, I have discussed it. There are two spherical balls. Let us suppose two spherical drops combined together during fall. So this is a ball of radius r, and this is another ball of radius r. Okay. When the two balls are combined together, a larger ball will be formed, or larger drop will be formed. Let us suppose the radius of the larger drop is equal to r. Radius of each smaller drops are smaller. If the radius of each drop is equal to r, smaller drop, and radius of the combined one is equal to r, then the volume of the larger drop and volume of two smaller drops will be same. That means the volume of the larger drop is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is the volume of the larger drop. And the volume of the two smaller drops is equal to 4 by 3 pi smaller cube plus 4 by 3 pi. That means if we solve this equation, we will get r cube is equal to 2 into r cube. That means r is equal to 2 to the power 1 by 3 into r. This is the relation between capital R and small r. Or r square by r square, capital R square by small r square is equal to 2 to the power 2 by 3. And 2 to the power 2 by 3 is equal to 1.58. You have to remember this. You have to remember this formula. During combination, if the problem is given like that, this is a very common problem. You have to remember this. 2 to the power 2 by 3 is equal to 1.58. Okay, you can check it. Now, we are going to the problem again. Two identical spherical drops of water are falling through air with steady velocity of 20 cm per second. If the drops combine to form a single drop, what would be the terminal velocity of the single drop? Now, this is the theory part of this problem. From question 1, Vt, velocity of the smaller drop is equal to velocity, Vt is equal to velocity of the smaller drop. Smaller drop, radius is equal to r. Actually, this is a mistake. Vt is equal to velocity, and radius is equal to r. We have the formula for terminal velocity. Vt is equal to 2r square rho minus rho naught into g by 9 eta. This formula has been already discussed. Okay. Now, inspect this formula. Vt is equal to terminal velocity. R is equal to radius. Rho is equal to density of the material. Rho naught or sigma is equal to density of the liquid through which the body falls. Eta is equal to coefficient of viscosity, and g is equal to acceleration due to gravity. Now, if the situation remains same means the drops are falling. When the two drops falling through liquid combine together, everything remains unchanged. Only radius changes. So this part, 9 eta rho minus rho naught into g and 2, all the quantities are constant, remains constant. Only r changes. So we can say Vt varies as r square. If this part is equal to constant, only r is variable, then we can say Vt varies as r square, or Vt is equal to k into r square, where k is a constant. Okay. That means all the quantities has been combined into a single factor that is equal to k. Vt is equal to k into r square. If Vt dot is equal to velocity of the combined drop, then Vt dot is equal to k into capital R square. Okay, so it is the formula. For particularly this problem, this is the formula. Vt is equal to velocity of fall, that means terminal velocity, and r is equal to radius. So for this body, this formula is applicable, and for this body, this formula is applicable. This formula is applicable. Vt dot is equal to k into r square. So Vt dot by Vt, that means terminal velocity of the combined drop by terminal velocity of the small drop is equal to k capital R square by k small r square, k cancelled. That is why Vt dot is equal to Vt into r square by r square. And we know Vt is equal to terminal velocity of the smaller drop, that is equal to 20 centimeter per second. Your previous problem, this is equal to 20 centimeter. Two identical spherical drops of water falling through air with a steady velocity of 20 centimeter. Steady velocity means terminal velocity, 20 centimeter per second. Okay. So this value is equal to 20 into 2 to the power 3 by 2 and 2 to the power 3 by, sorry, again another mistake, 2 by 3, it is 2 by 3. So 20 into 1.58, this is equal to 31.6. It must be corrected. In next video, I shall abolish this. Okay. 20 into 2 to the power 2 by 3. In place of 3 by 2, it will be 2 by 3 is equal to 31.6. Now look at the options. 20, 32, 10, 40. So the nearest value 31.6 is equal to 32. So B option is correct. Okay. So for such a problem, only B option is correct. Okay. Next, there is another problem. The terminal velocity of a copper ball of radius 2 mm falling through a tank of oil 6.5 centimeter per second. Compute the viscosity of oil if density of oil is 1.5 into the 3 kg per meter, density of copper is equal to. It is a problem, very simple problem. All the data are given here, and just by putting the data, we will get the answer. For the second problem. For the second problem, the expression of the terminal velocity eta is equal to 2 by 9 rho minus rho naught Vt r square into g. These are the values of the all values have been given here, and after calculation we will get this 1.01 Newton second per meter square. It is the expression for eta or unit for eta. So 1.01 is equal to very near correct response of C. Okay. So this is the next problem, and there is another problem for you. You have to solve this problem independently, and after solving this problem, you will send the answer to me, and I will say what will be the actual answer, or detailed solution will be given there. Okay. This is all about Stokes law. Now, if you want to study more, you have to go through your difficulty for solving any of the problems. You will send the problem to me. So, number one, you have to study Stokes law detail and solve the given problems, exercises, and in next video, shall discuss about equation of continuity. Next section. Okay.